Back to 1. We love you guys.
For all we know, this could be the big old hit. Piano and vocals, that's all it is.
So can you roll that first chord really quick?
In the last week of the campaign, I was already speaking to Brian Arata about where we were going to go with the music and what I needed.
I think you have all the bonus in there. Oh, and also on verse 3, band comes in.
Okay.
And the rest of it was getting the perks that we could make right now to the backers. And we had backers in the Netherlands, we had South Africa, we had Australia. And so I learned a lot about shipping. The perks themselves took about 2 months for everything. That meant hoodies, t-shirts, bottles, artwork, you name it. And we had to send the order off to then be manufactured for everybody. So I handled that. And then at night, I'd be working with Brian Arata on the original music.
Doug mentioned there were 25 tracks that needed to be made for the film. That's a little bit of a shocker right there. I want to narrow this stuff down, but I'm keep messing around with the chords. I'm like, well, that's just as good as, if not better. It's not all pop songs. There's a ballet number.
There's atmosphere music that has to be created.
And then there's some great fun rock songs. Quite a range of songs that are needed for this thing in that list.
There's about 15 original tracks of singing out of that 25. So it's still a lot, but it's not all 25.
That's a lot of music. Very nice digital audio workstation. You load any sample that you want. Presently, we're on the piano. But later on, when we're down the road and songs are written, we can add any kind of string, woodwind, brass, drums. We can add it all. During the writing process, there were a couple restrictions. Doug said, I want everything to be done in piano.
I didn't want him to get distracted with so many instruments that he had to try and put in there to make this sound good. I said, if we can get it to work on just piano alone, then we know that we got something good.
And if it sounded good with piano only, then when you get to the full orchestra, a vocalist, what have you, it would just make the song sound even better.
Hey, what is up, monsieur?
You're back.
We are back. To save time and to save a lot of traveling, we're doing this whole album through FaceTime.
Kind of like that better than the shorter one. 8th notes rather than 16th notes.
It sounds nuts, but it totally works.
It is definitely less of a guessing game to have the instant reaction, the instant feedback.
Instinctively, he just changes it to this first chord.
He's always describing what the story is. How does this relate to the script? How does this relate to this character? Is this going to fit the movie?
So we're designing each song to fit the scene before the scene's shot. It's laying down blueprints already in the music for the shooting, so that was crucial. The reason why the music is taking a long time is because we've had to cut songs and redo them from scratch.
It was something that just, hey, it doesn't fit, and we already have a song that sounds like this. We can't have it too similar, and that's fine. The tendency is, this works, let's do it again. Not in this case, because of the big diversity and what was needed for the movie.
And there were times where we even had to redo a song that we actually liked just because it didn't match the quality of the remaining songs he had done later on. It took about a month and a half to really find, oh, that sounds like a Back to One song, that sounds like a Back to One song. And then in December, when we had a lot of songs written that we're happy with, then we put them in order and we're like, this one doesn't sound like it belongs anymore. And then we check and we go, yeah, no, because these other ones are better. So we had to change that earlier one, and that's kind of what's pushed it along.
And then the instrumental break. Working with Drew as a lyricist was fantastic. He is very insightful and wrote some very meaningful, outstanding lyrics. There's a real powerful instrumental break after chorus.
After chorus 2.
Correct. And I'll think something better. Those are just arpeggios and things.
No, that's okay. Can you play chorus, just the beginning of chorus 2 into just the whole thing?
And it was such a joy to hear those things come in. You know, email would come in. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. What did he do? You know, and just being overwhelmed. Like, wow.
As much as I want to play it for everybody, it's in such a rough demo form. You know it's going to sound even better when it gets to be mixed and mastered. It's a great team.
We have so many different styles of songs in it. I couldn't reference another movie that's anything like it, really. We've got some great stuff.